Oh, how's everyone doing? Or whoever's in here now, anyway. How y'all doing? I have been busy, busy. How you doing, Pete? Uh, this week, let's see. I worked on my wife's uh she shed 2 days of that. Yes, very cold. How you doing, Rob? Um, how you doing, Nate? Been a long time. Uh, trying to get a heat pump, little mini split put in there, and I'm at the point now where I can hang the inside part and hook it up, which should be 10 minutes at the most, an hour because I'm slow, and then I gotta set the outside part up. So I got to anchor it to the concrete, hook it up to power, hook it up to the control for the inside unit, and then hook the tubes up. And then I need to just hook it to the breaker, hook, run the wires to the breaker. They're already there. I just have to hook it up. So working on that. So I spent 2 days working there. It wasn't a whole 2 days, but it consumed a lot of my days. Plus having to go to the hardware store for stuff. Let me move this because I keep looking off. Okay. Let's see. Put a battery in the Subaru today. The wife, she comes to me this morning, and I slept pretty late because I stayed up last night working on the loft bridge. So, wife comes to me, says, cranked the car up earlier today and it ran just fine, and went to, crank it up again later and it just clicked. And I'm like, okay, she's run the battery down. I wonder if the battery's bad or she just run it down somehow. And so I went out and I checked it. Of course, the battery was 11 something volts. And I hooked my little battery tester up to it. And of course, it showed bad because it was low. But then I charged it and it still come up in the bad when I put the load tester on. So went and got her a battery. They're not cheap. Oof. I knew they wasn't cheap, but man, 250 plus bucks for a dang battery. Sizzle, how you doing? Hey, I understand, Nate, being off social media. It's it can take a lot of your time. Rob did some home improvement draft work, slowly but surely taking care of the. I understand. I understand completely. There's a lot of work I need to do here that I just haven't been fooling with. But y'all probably seen my video by now of my bridge. I finally got it finished, so I can move on. And at this point, my plan was to finish that little room out on the bottom. But the more I think about it, and I spent a lot of time this week figuring the logistics of it out, and I'm just going to go ahead and get the next part of the raw loft roughed in. With that, I spent I spent about 4 hours with AI and the internet looking at every document I could find on LVL, the different LVL boards and or beams and the gluons, glulan. I don't know, glulam, the different glue lambs, stuff like that. And I had a good plan. And once I got through with that, I got with the engineers from Menards. So everyone knows I've been wanting to span that portion of my garage so that I didn't have any posts in the middle. And through my conversations with AI and my research, I'd come up with a real solid plan. I just needed to check stuff. And the plan was, instead of one big laminate beam, doubled, tripled, whatever, on the outside, I'd put one on the inside as well. It'd still give me my span with no poles in the middle. I just have them on the sides, all the way down the sides on both. Yes, not a full, but it's like over a third. It's 16 by 36 and then 5 by whatever, 5 by 30. So, yeah, that leaves me 31 by 30 as regular, garage stuff. But so when I got on with the engineer, the plan is, because the middle will be taking more load than anything, I'll do 3 LVLs in the middle. I'll do 2 LVLs on the outside. I've got to pour 2 footers for my posts. So part of it's going to be over here on my wall posts. They're already on footers, all this good stuff. But the ones on the inside, they're going to be just flat on, regular concrete, no footer, 4 inches, and there'll be a pretty good point load on that. And it may not crush it over time. I mean, it may not crush it, you know, to begin with, but over time it could weaken and all of a sudden go through. And it could be kind of bad. So my next step in the build is to get everything cleaned up and move back out of that side so I can cut me 2 footers, cut my concrete out, pour me 2 footers. I don't have the specs. I think they're supposed to be 12 by 12. I can't remember. And while I'm at it, and this is according to whether I can get this done in time and be able to get a concrete truck on one of those few days that it's not below 40 degrees, uh, I might go ahead and cut footings for my lift because I may not need them, but you can only order, when you order concrete, I think the minimum here is 2 yards, might be 3 yards. And the the 2 footers for the loft are nothing. It's not even a half a yard. And then I think it's a quarter of a yard. And then the other, if I do footers for the lift, it puts it almost a yard. And then I've got that little place in front of the shop. I mean, in the corner of the shop that I left that I was going to put a bathroom there, and I don't know that that's going to happen anymore. Fireman's pole would be cool, but it might take up some room that I don't want to be taking up. Uh, what else? And I may go ahead form me up a pad. And Nate, you can help me with this. You're the concrete guy. Uh, I might form me a pad right outside of one of my garage doors so that I can run my little forklift out there to for any deliveries that can back it up. I can get in there, lift it, and pull it off. I don't know. It's cordon. I don't know how many yards it'll be because I haven't figured out how big it needs to be. But yeah. Let me go through the comments. Got a new job. Awesome. Uh, that's good, Nate. You've been away from GE for a while, though, right? Looks good. Appreciate it, Rob. Going to have a full second story. It's going to be a large one. It's going to be very large. But this next part, it'll take me a while to finish it. But the next part is my man cave. So it may be this time 5 years from now when it gets finished. What am I drinking tonight? Haven't got to it yet, but I'll be getting to it in a minute. Just do like Alaska gold miners do, light a fire pit. Yeah, I've got a kerosene heater going in there and a little propane heater. And while I'm out there, I have my jet propane heater going. Um, my oil burner, I got to get in there and figure out why it's not running right. I got to figure out if it just keeps shutting off on me. It starts, sounds like it's running good, then shuts down. I can't figure it out. And it's less than 8 degrees out there right now. It's I had it up to 45 degrees in the shop with just those one of those heaters going. I had it to 38 degrees. But that's before the temperature plummeted again. Uh, kind of spoiled. If I need concrete, this place 5 miles from here, they'll deliver down to a yard locally. Nice. And I may be able to find someone that'll deliver just a yard because unless I find some help, I don't think I can work more than a yard by myself. Considering I may be wheelbarrowing a fair amount of it in, and I did it before, and it sucks. No, I'm not going to grow no rat tail. This isn't the 80s. Wait till temp is at least 45 degrees. Yeah, I'm one of these days this week. I think it's supposed to get to 54, and then there's another one next week. I think it's supposed to get up into the 50s. But I'm trying to keep it decent temperature in the shop. So, yeah, we'll see. Uh, Elevator for your later years. I have been trying to figure out how I could do an elevator. We'll see. Went to Fuji Seal in Bardstown, but now it's Strong Spirits. Okay, that's cool. Strong Spirits, is that a smaller distillery? It's 2 degrees here now. This morning it was Oh, I hate the cold. I hate the cold. Um, Around this time of the year, I have a saying, that I share with my wife, and I say, "Fucking Kentucky." I would prefer to be living down in Alabama, maybe Florida, maybe back in Texas, get back used to that heat. I know they see some cold temperatures. Once every 10 years, they see some super cold temperatures. But this year is ridiculous. December, and it's this cold. Why? I just, yes, I'm whining, but I hate the cold. And my body is protesting with me. Last night, yesterday, when I started on this bridge, so it's essentially 8 by 5, 8 foot by 5 foot. It's a little over 5 foot and a little bit under 8 foot, but you get the drift. So I started with getting that outside, the inside board was already up, ledger or whatever it's called. That would be called a ledger. I think the one on the outside could be called rim board or something. I don't know. Anyway, so I had to do the outside one, and it took me forever because there's a bit of an angle to it, just a very slight angle because the little bitty skinny long loft is taller than the other, and it's because I wanted more. I wanted that. I wanted my rim boards further down on my 4x6s. So because I wanted them to have more support. Um, and I don't have that other loft is the worst built. I've learned a lot since then, and I'm still learning. This next loft that I'm building is I'm gonna do some things different on it. But anyway, got that part, and it took me forever. I finally had it done, and I went in at 8. Took about a 2-hour break. Me and the wife ate, watched our TV shows. Then I went back out and got to it. So the next thing I've got to do, I marked off for all of my joists. I cut all of my joists. I prepared them all. I put hangers on one end, and then I put uh, blocks of wood on the tops of all of them so that I could just set them up there and I wouldn't have to hold them still. Got all that done. And I got my first 3 nailed on the hanger side, and my arm was just killing me. And I was wanting to quit. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get these done and I'm going to quit. So I got the next 3 done. And then I'm like, you know what? It's not much more to do the others. I'm going to be able to use the nail gun with these. And, so I knocked those out. Then I'm like, well, shit, all I got left to do is throw my plywood up there and I'll be done. 12:30 rolls around, 12:40 rolls around in the morning, and I'm finally done. And I try to go to sleep, try to go to bed about 2 o'clock, but this ear's ringing so bad that I couldn't go to sleep till 5. This one rings. This one is just constantly, constantly, and it's loud. But when I'm out there doing stuff like that, running saws, this one will get super bad, and I won't be able to. Yeah, it's pretty bad right now, and I haven't run anything loud at all today. I mean, I haven't even listened to music. Let's see. But yeah, back to you, Pete. 2 degrees? No, I can't. I couldn't do it. -12. It's one thing I'll never help someone outside the family with. Concrete is terrible. Got lots of respect for those boys. I wish my son was around. He's currently, y'all know, I've told you before, he's currently a guest of the state of Kentucky, but he works concrete, and I would just make him help me, you know. Had to wheelbarrow 23 yards concrete. Oh, that's nasty. I wheelbarrowed. Okay, I was 17 years old, so it's been a while. But from what I can remember, it was roughly about a 8 by 10 or 12 uh, basement patio. And I wheelbarrowed it all by myself. And if y'all have seen me when I was 17 years old, I was a rail. 5 foot, 9.5, 5'10", and 110 pounds. I was tiny. And here I was, wheelbarrow was 5 times my weight, probably, or more. And I'm just, you know, I was I was surprisingly strong, my legs anyway back then, not my upper body. I was a matchstick, but yeah, it's not fun. I don't know how many wheelbarrows it was. I just know I was wore out by the end of the day. And screeing this drive, yeah, doing the scree pole all the way up the driveway. Yeah, it wasn't no electric or no, automatic, whatever they use now. I know they do it by hand still too, but I was doing a 3 yard alone with wheelbarrow. Come on. That's just it, Nate. I'm an old man. I'm not in my 20s or 30s. I'll be 54 in uh 6 days. And my back is freaking killing me right now. And that's from doing what I did yesterday. By the time I get through with this part of the project, I'm going to be smoked if I can do it. I don't know if I can do it. I'm not giving up, but I just don't know if I can do it. The plan is to, I think Wednesday or Thursday or both days, I've got planned for cutting concrete and removing it and busting it out. I may rent both the hammer and the concrete saw. Um, and then the plan is for after, the next week to do the pour over it's, one day, but prepping for the pour and everything and getting everything done, I've given myself 2 days. And there's other days in between there for other stuff. I've got to laminate some 4x6s so that I can have bigger posts, to for my LVLs to go on. I've got to get my LVLs and laminate them, put 3 together and 2 together. Got a lot of stuff. But before I go back to school on the 18th, 19th, 20th, or whatever, I want to have that loft roughed in. I want to have it joist up, ready to put plywood up there. It'd be nice if I could do plywood, but it's already over it's like I'm looking at about $1,500 that I need to spend right now for it. And yeah, without the concrete, well, no. Let me look. Okay. Without the concrete, it's $959.89. Then the concrete, I figured it at, if I bought Satcrete, which would kill me, it's 35 bags, 35 80-pound bags, for $238.60. That's about, and that's less than a yard. That's about what 2 yards of concrete will cost me. It might be about 260 for 2 yards, I think. I think concrete's 130 a yard here. Could be wrong. But yeah. And that's without plywood. Now plywood, I forget. It's like 8 sheets and uh 8 sheets. Probably the stuff I'm using, it's a specialty board. It's still only it's less than $60 a sheet. But yeah, and I've got plenty of screws for it. So that ain't a problem. I've already got that. And I've got all of my joist material. Just I gotta buy those LVLs. I gotta buy bolts and nuts and washers. Um, I'm gonna have to buy rebar. I've already got my glue to glue everything together. Yeah. So we'll see if I can get it done. Y'all be praying for me because it's gonna be tough. Let's see. There was going to be, I was doing a three, 3 yards. There was going to be, but it's just a bottle and label for everybody you've heard of. It's something the wife and I were talking about. Been a few years since this cold of a December. Invest in M12 heated gear. I've got some. I've got the jacket, but I don't have anything else. I need feet. I need something for my feet. My feet freeze in the house at 70 degrees. Um, is that what you could never listen to me at work? Is that why you could never listen to me at work? Oh, I listen to you, dang it. Uh, I got tinnitus really bad. Just got a new pair of hearing aids from the VA. If I don't forget, and I forgot to talk to my primary care last 6 months ago. Well, toward the end of this month, I'm going to visit with my primary care again. And if I can remember, I'm going to talk to her about giving me hearing aids because I've got them that will help cancel it out. I don't understand how it works, but my buddy swears by it. And yeah. Uh, Same with me growing up. It's known as Twiggy on the job. Don't think you could work on a job site at 16 nowadays. Yeah, well, see, I was working with my uncle. He had his own concrete company for quite some time. And, you know, uh, I did that with him for, during the summers. I didn't do any of the real big jobs. I mainly just worked with him when I needed a little extra cash because I worked at a grocery store for as a regular job. Let's see. Concrete is not cheap now. Yeah, I could be wrong on the $130. Um, but you know, it is what it is. So what do y'all think? Y'all think I'll be able to do all that by myself? It's the it's the big one. The big thing is going to be framing that loft. And I have been able to do most of what I've done by myself. I've had some help here and there, but for the most part, everything I've done completely by myself. Um, so I'm wondering this one, 16 by 20, that's a little more than what I've dealt with. And lifting those LVL beams, just getting them on my little forklift is going to be it's going to be tough. So, what do y'all think? Y'all think I'm going to be able to get it done by myself? Or do you think I need to really plan and get my youngest son out there to help me? In case I haven't said it, and I don't think I did or asked, how you doing, Toolaholic? So Nate asked about my drink tonight. So this bottle, I have to tell y'all something about all the bottles, right? When me and my wife were dating, this was my first birthday present from her. We went to Altec Brewing Company in Lexington, or Town Branch, which is this bottle, and we done a taste test. And I tell you, I tasted enough that I was right. I was feeling pretty good. Luckily, we were eating just down the block, so I was able to, sober up before we had to come home. But yes, so this was real good. It ended up being a real good one. And from what I understand, not all Town Branch stuff is good, but this one was a pretty good bottle. And it's Town Branch single barrel. It's a little over 119 proof. So this bottle's, I've had it since 2017, since December of 2017. Um, this is probably the first $100+ bottle of bourbon that I had, and that was back right as the bourbon boom hit. So it was before everything went sky high. If I would have looked, I probably could have found Pappy at a decent price at that time, but $100 bottle was a lot to me. Now, I mean, it still is now. It's just I don't. If I want the bottle, I buy it. So that's what I'm drinking tonight. If I can get it open, it's got a glass stopper, but it's plastic in here, and it hasn't been open in probably a year. Lord, I don't know if I'll be able to get it open. Oh, whew. It smells good. Cheers. To my dad got his hearing aids from the VA this year for free. He was finally accepted this year. He was turned down twice before due. He made too much money. He also gets his glasses free from them for free. I so my I am rated through the VA for my tinnitus. Um, that's for those that don't understand. And I'm not, I don't mind putting my business out there. I have 22 rated conditions. So rated means they rate me on a scale from 0 to 100%. I've got two conditions that are 0%, but just one of those conditions grants me disability. It would be zero money, but I would have access to the VA clinic and everything, for stuff like that. At the rating I'm at, I can get all of my health care for free, every single bit of it, military related or not. I don't get disability based on stuff that's not military related, but I can get all my health care through them for free. Um, and I don't know what that percentage, the bottom percentage is for that, but So all I had to do is talk to them, and I'll be able to get it. Now, Champ VA, which is probably what your dad has, and for those that don't know, Champ VA is a health insurance that you can get through the VA, that it's like the plans that you buy out on the economy, except it's going to be, I think it's free to VAs that make under a certain amount, or free to veterans that make under a certain amount, and it would cover your spouse as well if you make under a certain amount. I don't have Champ VA. I have chose to keep my TRICARE, which I pay for out of my. It just comes straight out of my retirement pay, and it's cheap. It's very cheap, and it's pretty good insurance. Um, I forget who. It's a different contractor every 3 to 6 years or whatever, but it might be Humana right now. But I'm fine with it, even though I no longer use it, but my wife does. My wife uses my TRICARE, and but I don't. I go to the VA for everything now, and I got every 6 months I go do blood work. They check me out. They test for cancers and stuff, because I was involved in. I was in the Middle East for 4 years, 4 different times, a year at a time. And I was exposed to a lot of stuff, toxins, burn pits, and all that stuff. So I want them to check me for cancer, especially the men health stuff. And uh, so I go every 6 months. Um, that's why that they got me. That's why I'm on diabetic medicine now, because you know they're like, "Hey, your blood sugar is a little wonky." So now I take a little bit. I'm type whatever. I don't take insulin shots, whatever type that is. But cheers, everyone. That was a lot, wasn't it? Y'all come in to listen to me talk about shop, and then I talk about the VA. This week, I was telling you how I've got things planned out. I think it's Wednesday or Thursday. Let me look. Yeah, it's Thursday that I have a uh, appointment for my back shot, and I need it. I need it bad right now. So I every 4 months they won't let me get them no sooner than 4 months because of my diabetes. So um, I get shots in my back, and it sucks. And I leave there feeling flush for like 4 days. I feel like shit because it spikes my blood sugar, and I just feel horrible for a week roughly. So, and that's going to hurt me on being able to get things done. Dad's now retired and loves the healthcare at the VA better than seeing the regular doc. Yeah, when the president made all those cuts early in his um, presidency, I was really concerned that the VA was going to go downhill because of some of that stuff. I haven't witnessed it, and I haven't suffered any because of it yet. But I do. It does concern me, um, and I'd be a fool not to be concerned about it, because it affects me directly. Um, it's a lot of other stuff affects us, but sometimes it's not quite as direct, and I care about that stuff. Um, I I do believe our government is way too big. But I also believe that it needs to be pruned a little less harshly and a little at a time. I've got a bush out here. If I've let it go too far. And if I was to cut everything off that needs to be cut off, it'd probably kill it. So I got to go out there and cut a little at a time so that I can get it trimmed down to where it's supposed to be. So, cheers on the bush light. This will be, I actually had about an ounce of bourbon in the middle of the week. And that's the first time I did that in a few months. Uh, so, how'd y'all like the toolbox video? And so, when I was doing that video, the first, after I sort of introduced it and then did the little, cutaway showing different clips of the box with the music background, and then I went on to explain it. Did y'all like that little cut? Because I did the video and I'm like, I'd like to put this right here early on, sort of as a uh, just grab people, help keep their interest up, because we've talked about it before. You know, people tend to have less of attention span nowadays, except for people in most of our age bracket. YouTube tells me that my age bracket, or the age bracket for my viewers, is somewhere between is 35 to like 60. There's three different age brackets, and it essentially goes from 35 to 60 something. So, and my number two viewed country is Canada. Number three is UK. Number four is Japan, which is weird. Um, I appreciate it, Pete. Man, I love that thing. I I'm I haven't I haven't put my stuff in it yet because I want to video it. It's too cold, and I'll be running heaters, and the noise will kill my videos, and it's just I can't make a video right now. Thanks, Pete. You might qualify for Social Security disability. Sizzle, I could get it if I wanted it. Um, so VA disability isn't based on whether you can work or not necessarily. There is a type that is. So there is I forget what it's called, but essentially, if you've got a bad enough disability, rated disability for the VA, it without you getting to 100%, it pushes you to 100%. So you're not really at 100%, but they pay you like you're at 100%. With that, you can only make X amount per year. In other words, you're really not supposed to be able to work. I'm at 100%, but mine is because I've got 20 something rated disabilities. Back, neck, legs, like both knees, both ankles, both elbows, all kind of stuff. Okay, my head, all kind of stuff. With mine, I am allowed to work. Um, and I'm going to school currently to train me for something that I can do and work around my disabilities. So I had a friend he's trying to walk me through the SSD, and I don't I essentially feel like I would have to lie to get SSD, and I didn't have to lie to get my VA stuff. And I'm just not. I don't want to. I may or may not go back to work, but I'm just going to wait till I'm 62 or 63 or whenever it is where I can draw my Social Security. But I appreciate that, Sizzle. You know, I have thought about it. Um, I just right now it's not for me. It may be for me in a few years, but it's not for me right now. I don't think I deserve it at this point, and I don't want to try to get it. Because even though I might not can do a construction job or a welding job or a driving job is even tough on me. Driving that dump truck kicked my butt. If I did a whole day when I was driving dump truck for my buddy, I was in a lot of pain at the end of the day. By the third load, my neck would be hurting real bad, and I'd have horrible headaches. By the end of the day, my clutch and brake, or my clutch, well, and my brake legs would both hurt badly because it was a completely manual truck. Well, I mean, it had air brakes, but it when you had to get on the brakes, you had to get on it hard for it to stop. It's just you were constantly working that clutch, and it was hard on me, and I didn't complain about it, and I enjoyed it, but I hurt. I hurt bad at the end of the day. So it's not something I could realistically do on a regular basis. Um, if I ever went back into trucking, I would go to a place that had an automatic because, you know, it may not be real truck driver, but I guarantee I'm better than at least 50% of the drivers out there on the road. And I don't think that's being boastful. I think there's a bunch of shit truck drivers out there right now. Yeah, I'm sorry. uh, Sometimes I have to shut my heater off for some of the videos I do. Yeah, it has a weird the frequency that pump is on, or the fan is just it's a weird frequency, and it, it's loud. Oil heaters like yours, it's noisy. Yeah. Same thing, made by the same company with a different sticker on it, because the company that made yours owns the company that made mine. Uh, when I bought mine, they told me essentially the parent company wouldn't like the price that they gave me for it. 152 gallons. Oof, that's that's a lot. I'm I'd be lucky if I had 100 gallons. Yeah, I'd be lucky if I had 100 gallons right now. I got about a half of a 55-gallon drum, and then I've got probably 30-gallon jugs of oil that needs to be worked. Um, in other words, I need to get a clear container, pour at least 10 gallons of it in it, and then put the spout in it about this high above the bottom. So any water and residue will settle to the bottom, and then just empty that out of that. have it set up to where I can empty it out of that directly into my container that I feed my heater with. But tomorrow, I think that's what I'm doing is I'm working on my heater to get it right because I want to start running it on a regular basis, even though I don't have my flue set right yet. Did I kill the chat when I talked about the VA and Social Security? uh, let's see what we got. Hey, so one thing to check on some deals. You know the deal I was telling you about last week with the Milwaukee screw gun and the 3/8 ratchet? It's still going on. And if you have a pro account, it comes up as deals. But uh they've got M12 grease gun for 99 bucks. I got it for 89 bucks with the um military discount. So I've got the grease gun out there now. And we'll try it out. I've got a nice pneumatic grease gun. It's a Lincoln. And if you don't know, well, so this is different than the Lincoln welders. Lincoln, they do all the oil, oil and grease and stuff like that. They have a line of stuff like that. And I've got one or two other tools. I've got a grease zerk uh, blaster. I forget what it's called. You know, it's like a hydraulic deal where you put some oil in it or some kerosene and you put it over the grease zerk, and it's got a plunger with a hammer head or head on the outside that you hit with a hammer, and you use that to flush the grease zerks out. Uh, so they make some good stuff, but I'm probably going to sell it because I've got manual ones as backups. So now that I've got that Milwaukee, there's no sense in dragging a air hose around. You know that'd be good. Spread the word. Oof, that went down wrong. Spread the word and get some oil. They most of my neighbors, one of them, two, maybe three of them don't have their oil changed, but everybody else does because they either are not mechanical or they're older. Because in my neighborhood, uh, at the end, it's retiree, younger couple, older couple, and me, retiree. Beside me is retiree. Next to them, retiree, and then at the end, retiree. Across from him, you get it. Just about everyone is my age or older, except for two houses. And there's like 11 houses on the block. There's two houses that I'm not completely sure of because they're kind of off, back there in a weird little offshoot. But yeah, got that screw gun ratchet last Christmas at the same price. Yeah, it's a great deal, and I love my screw gun. I use this thing a lot. Um, and it's good. The ratchet's okay. You can't put a lot of torque on it. You will break it. Um, really, just use it for the power that it has and to snug things down and then tighten it with whatever else. I made the mistake of you, and I've been told the same thing I'm telling you. I did it anyway. But the screw gun, I mean, it's it works great. This is Santa's little helper at Christmas time. I'm here to tell you. Um, and it's even if you just buy the kit for this, it goes on sale on a regular basis for 59 bucks. And it's a bag, this, a battery, and a charger. It might be two batteries and a charger. I could be wrong. I can imagine it being real good for dash work. Um, I it's I use it. I use it around the house for the most part. Um, and I'll use it for taking things apart, light things in the garage. Um, but out there, I've got you know a M18 and a M12 impact driver, M18 and a M12 drill. So on and so forth. Bunch of impacts. So I've got plenty of other options out there, but I can leave this in the house and it does a great job. What have I got on here? Got a 1.5 battery on it. Use it to hang pictures and stuff. But I think the deals are drying up since last year unless things change soon. It's possible. Um the Vim is running a 12 days of Christmas. Um let's see what today's tool is. Yesterday's tool was a Torx bit set. Uh, Today's tool, it's 40% off whatever their tools are for the day. And today's tool looks like a master hex bit set or hex. It looks like 3/8, quarter inch, and half-inch drive hex sockets and long ones. Uh, okay, it's all metric. So 32-piece Elite Hex metric master set for $120.78. I think it's a little much for me for my taste. But I've got them. So I've got different ones. I've got the Blue Point Master set and that I've had since I bought it used from some dude off of Craigslist. Craigslist, there's something you ain't heard in a while. Off of Craigslist back in 2012 or 2013. No, 2013 or 2014, somewhere around there. When I lived in Fort Hood, near Fort Hood, Texas. So you got that. Um, Speaking of 12 Days of Christmas, I know. So I've told y'all my son has the Snap on student. He's in the student program. So right now, through the student program, they're doing a 12 Days of Christmas deal. And I told y'all some of the deals last week, but there's a 3-piece dead blow hammer set. Um, It's the 24 ounce, 32 ounce, and 48 ounce for 120 bucks. So tell me, what do y'all think? Is that a must buy? I'm down to two people. I think I've run everybody off. Is that a must buy or hold off? I've got one dead blow hammer. Yeah, I've got one dead blow hammer. It's the Harbor Freight one. But I pulled up the prices, and with one of them on sale through Trusty Cook, and I can't get the same exact sizes, but I can come in somewhere just south of 120 bucks through them. But the other deal I'm looking at through them, which I wish they had standard, uh, is a 7-piece 4-way angle open end wrench set, 10 to 15 and 17 for 135 bucks. Those two deals I've thought about. I mean, they're pretty decent deals. I don't know. Thought about getting my son to get them, right? I'm thinking about getting my GI Bill to pay for some type of tech school because there's a couple of things I want to learn. And getting a student program account myself. That way, if my son's account gets used up, because he's only allowed $14,000 worth of full value. He can only buy $14,000 worth of full value stuff. So let's say if something's on sale for 120 bucks, but it's regularly 400 bucks or whatever the price is. 400 goes against that 14,000. So, well, what do y'all think about those two deals? Are those some things that I probably should look at getting, especially if I don't have them? And I don't have a full set. I don't think I have any metric angle wrenches. I could. I'm not sure. I know I don't have a full set of standard. They're like, and then they're all different all different brands. It's like I pieced it together. So I don't know. Yeah, it's okay though. So what do you think, Sizzle? What do you think about those deals? Should I try to look at them? I figured you and Sizzle were still here. It's showing 4 people in here now, and I think I'm one of those. But it also the number that it shows, it goes up and down, and I think it's just some weird connection or something. Um, see what other there's something else that does some 12-day of Christmas stuff. I don't know. I'll try to start doing posts about what the 12-day Christmas deal is for them, just in case y'all are interested. The one big thing that they are doing is over $40 is free shipping. And their shipping is ridiculous normally. So I'm fixing to get me some Vim rails. Okie doke. Glad to see you still here, Laser. I am going to close this out. That's cool. I think I don't know how many more days I have left. They've stopped adding things to the list. They've got a ratchet set. I mean, a electric ratchet, metric and standard ratcheting wrenches, reversible ratcheting wrenches. 3 different colors of so the color that they put up there is all that you can buy for that price. They got 3 different colors of the screwdriver kits, and it's a screwdriver kit with a like a extended kit. I don't know. It's two kits together. Um, a set of metric shorty wrenches, a welding hood. What else? I shouldn't have closed off. There might be one or two more. A battery kit, a battery maintenance kit. Nothing super special about it. There's a battery jump starter, and then a couple of tools like the brush to clean it off, things like that. Um, there's one other thing, but anyway, I'm gonna close this out. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna try to get my shop, get everything put up because it is a mess. I want to get everything put up so I've got a good starting point to to move everything out of the way. And right now, it's not in a good place. And maybe tonight, I'm also going to work on my heater. I really need to get that thing running because it'd be nice. I think I could keep it at a constant 50 degrees in there if I could just get it to running, but it's got to be running first. And 50 degrees in this weather would be awesome. I was sweating in there last night working with it at 55, but I was busting my ass, which doesn't happen very often. Thank y'all for joining me. I hope y'all have a great week. Have a great night. And I'll see y'all again next week. It was nice chatting with y'all too, Pete. Man, I'll look forward to next week.